Success leaves clues. You find someone that's successful in what they do, at the top of what they do, they are leaving breadcrumbs. They are leaving clues behind as to how you can become successful. Sure, you might not play football, but there was so much that Tom Brady just said in there that we talk about all the time on these calls. It all correlates. Success leaves clues. If you are super successful, you will think similarly. Why do you think we read out of the book 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class? Because the world class thinks a certain way. It doesn't matter if they're spiritual leaders, business leaders, right? The athletes, entertainers, great family lives, like whatever it is, there's a set of mindsets, there's a set of beliefs that carry them to get to that success, to get to greatness. I jotted down a couple things from Tom Brady there, right? That I just picked up because I'm always grabbing things from any successful person, anyone that has created any level of success. I'm trying to learn something from them. And so they might talk quickly. It might go over some people's heads. But if you're listening and paying attention, you'll grab exactly what you need. Quick story about that. I remember going to InvestFest a couple years back, and the owner of Chick-fil-A, right? Chick-fil-A is a family-run business. And the owner of Chick-fil-A, Dan Cathy, was up speaking. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was dropping a ton of gems. Again, think success leaves clues, right? He was dropping a ton of gems, and I'm just writing. And he said a couple things, and I was like, oh man, that's it. And I looked around, and no one had the same reaction I did. Like I looked at the people that were sitting around me, and like they missed it. Like they completely like they were like almost sleeping, and I was like, y'all aren't catching this? Like, did you just hear what he said? But then I realized like I was at a different place. I was picking up these things that other people weren't picking up. So again, this is why I'm constantly listening to people that are successful, because you're always going to grab some things. Tom Brady, one of the things he said he couldn't even put his pads on properly when he was getting started, right? When he was getting started in football, he's like, I wasn't a prodigy. I wasn't a Tiger Woods. I wasn't Serena. I wasn't someone that was innately great at this as a child. He was like, I didn't even know how to put my pads on. Turns out he becomes one of the greatest quarterbacks, greatest football players to ever live. So what do you learn from that? It's not where you start. It's never about where you start, right? You don't have to innately be great at something in order to become greater at it, right? Like you can be horrible at something. You could know nothing. You could be completely naive about a business or about your financial life or about marriage or about your health or any of those things. You could be completely horrible at these things and still be great. So says Tom Brady, right? The other thing I picked up, mentorship. He said, I had a dad that once I knew like I wanted to do this, he would put me in this camp, that camp, this camp. He would take me to these places and say, just go for it. Sometimes you need people around you that are pushing you in the direction that you want to go. Even if you don't know kind of what to do, get around the people. Get a mentor, get a coach, get somebody that can push you in the direction of where you're saying that you want to go. Tom Brady had that in his dad early. All of us can have that in our lives currently. Get around those people, right? Talked a ton about discipline. That's what we're going to talk about. He said, if I want to be the best, I got to beat the best. If I want to be the best, I got to beat the best. Who are you competing with? I know sometimes we don't compete in life. A mentor of mine used to say, our bank account is the scoreboard of life, right? So, right, if you want to compete, go compete, right, in the bank account. But in all honesty, like, are you getting around the people that are better than you, that are pulling you up? If you want to get better in your relationships, are you getting around the people that have strong, healthy marriages for 20, 30, 40 years? Is that who you're getting around? If you want to get better in your health, are you getting around the people that are supremely healthy, that go to the gym, that eat right, that understand health? Like, are you around them? If you want to get better in your finances, do you get around the people that are financially doing better than you so that you can pick up some things and learn some things and understand how they move? This is what it means when he says, right, if I wanted to be the best, I got to beat the best. I got to get around where the competition is. I'm not going to go so I'm the smartest person in the room all the time. I'm not going to get around the people where I'm always the person that's picking them up and helping them. I got to get around the people that are better than me. That's what allows us to grow. Can only control what you can control. I know you've heard me say that a ton of times. It's true. Your actions and your attitude. Tom Brady focused on his process. He focused on, right, what he could control. He focused on competing. He focused on making practice like the game. It wasn't just when it was game time that he turned it on. He was turning it on every single day at practice. He was outworking people. He had better work ethic than them. He was more mentally tough than them. This is how he got to become one of the greatest football players, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. It was what he could control. He did not start good. He ended up great. We all have the same ability. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Find a millionaire, do as he does, you will have what he has. Find someone that's successful, do what they do. Copy them. Practice their mindsets. Look at their work ethic. Look at how they maneuver in life, and you can have the same results. But oftentimes we copy the wrong people. We copy our family. We copy our programming. We copy the people around us. They're not getting to that life. So you got to get around the most successful people so that you have a shot, so that you have an opportunity to become great. Here's what it says in the text. Again, success leaves clues. It says the great ones choose discipline over pleasure. Tom Brady talked a ton about discipline in there, a ton about you want to be good at something for a day, cool, right? You want to be disciplined on something for a week, or how about a year, right? It just takes more discipline. So are you building this muscle of discipline for yourself? If you're going to go off and design your ideal life, if you're going to go off and create the life you don't need a break from, well, it's going to require you to be disciplined. We can't start and stop. Can't turn it on, then turn it off, and then feel this way, and then come back around. Like, that's not discipline. We have to continue to work at the things that we want to make happen. It says here in the text, when average performers have had enough for the day and call it quits, champions are usually just getting started. Discipline is the watchword of great performers. Discipline makes the difference between the good and the great. The great ones will tell you discipline is more of a decision than it is an active skill. Say that one more time. The great ones will tell you discipline is more of a decision than an active skill. It's the ability to stay the course and complete promises you've made. The fulfillment of these promises builds self-confidence and self-esteem, which eventually leads the champions to believe almost anything is possible. It's a habit and a self-fulfilling prophecy built into one. Discipline is a logic-based decision that performers adhere to regardless of whether they feel like it or not. Discipline pushes performers past pain and punishment. As my late business partner and mentor, Bill Gove, always said, it's easier to act yourself into good thinking than to think yourself into good action. It's easier to act yourself into good thinking than it is to think yourself into good action. This is the mindset of the champion. The great ones like Bill Gove don't let feelings interfere with their performance. Instead, they harness the power of their emotional motivators to propel them past the competition. Average people see discipline as a painful chore to be avoided at all costs. The world class sees it as the ultimate power tool for performance. Where's your level of discipline? How disciplined are you in getting to the life that you want, in changing your health and changing your finances and all of the categories? And how focused are you on this? We got to get to a place, again, like the title says, where we're choosing discipline over pleasure. When life gets hard, sometimes we just want to be pleasured. We just want to have comfort. We just want to get to that place because life is becoming hard, because our feelings are taking over. And when our feelings start to take over, we typically don't do the things that we know we're supposed to do. We do the things that make us feel good. We do the things that make us comfortable. Those types of thoughts don't get us to the life that we deserve. Those types of thoughts don't get us to the place where we can design our ideal life. We have to practice discipline. Again, it's a practice. Why? Because in here it says it's a decision. You make a decision to be disciplined. It's not something you're innately born with. It's a decision. You say, I'm going to be more disciplined in this area. And the quote, right? It's easier to act yourself into good thinking than to think yourself into good action. That means you can control what? Your actions and your attitudes. The only two things you can control. So that means you can control your action, which means you can control acting yourself into good thinking, which means you can create discipline today. You can start being more disciplined today. Like there's nothing that you have to kind of grow. You can just make the decision that that's what you're going to do. Again, easier said than done. I get it. But if we really want to go to that life, we really want to get to that place where we have life exactly where we want it, it's going to require a ton of discipline. You want to be great in something, you want to have a great life, you want to have it all, you want to have, because you can. Don't let anyone tell you you can't have it all. You can have it all. You can have a great marriage and a great faith life and great kids and right, great financial status and great health and a great business. And like you can have everything you want. You might not have it all right now, but you can have it all. It's just going to require a ton of discipline. It's going to require a ton of sacrifice. It's going to require you actually making these decisions to control what you can control and not be focused on the things you can't control. It's going to require you to challenge yourself more. I think Tom Brady said that in there. Challenge yourself more. Don't challenge yourself less. Get around people that challenge you more, not that challenge you less. Sure, we need emotional support systems around us. Sure, you need someone that has that ear that they can just listen to what's going on and you kind of talk to them and they can kind of rub your back a bit. But that shouldn't be your entire circle. That shouldn't be everyone you surround yourself with. You got to put yourself in a position where you are getting around people that are challenging you, that are saying, yes, I understand you feel that way, and here's what we need to go do. Like, I understand that this is your circumstance, and here's what we need to focus on to overcome that. Right? We have to be able to build this into our lives, ladies and gentlemen. But all it is a decision. All it is a decision to say, I'm going to choose discipline. I'm not going to choose what my feelings tell me to choose. I'm not going to choose the comfort. I'm not going to choose the easy road. I'm not going to choose the easy life. I'm going to choose the life that's going to produce in me who I need to become, the character I need to build in order to get to the life that I want. Tom Brady said it. Life is hard. Life is hard. If you just go into it knowing that, if you just go into life knowing that it's going to be hard, it's not going to get easier, it's going to get harder. So you're not surprised when it gets harder. You're not shocked. You're not in that position where it's like, man, I wish it were easier. No, like expect it to get harder. Just like you're going to expect to get older, right? You're not expecting to get younger. You know, that's not the way life works. Not Benjamin Button over here, right? You're not going to like reverse in time and age. Like that's not the way it works. You already come into life with the expectation that you're going to get older. Well, you should go into life with the expectation that it's going to get harder. It's going to get harder. There's going to be more things that you're going to have to deal with. There's going to be more life that you're going to have to live, more circumstances, more adversities, like more of it. If you come into life knowing that, then you have a choice to say, well, I'm going to get stronger so I can handle this hard life that's up ahead. And then the more that you get stronger, the easier it becomes to handle that hard life. Right? Life doesn't get easier, we get stronger. It just means you can handle it more. You have more capacity to handle the ups and downs. You have more capacity to handle the financial setbacks. You have more capacity to handle the health challenges. Like you just have more capacity to do it. So it feels like it's easier, but it doesn't get easier. We just got to come into life knowing these things, ladies and gentlemen. It'll help you get to that life that you deserve. Here's what it says in this quote. It says, with self-discipline, anything is possible. I believe discipline is the ultimate key to success as it determines your approach towards every day. Discipline keeps you focused and keeps you performing at a world-class level. That's Roger D. Graham Jr. The action step for today says scale from 1 to 7, 7 being most disciplined. How disciplined are you in these different areas of your life? In business, career, how disciplined are you? In your family and friends, How disciplined are you in reaching out to them, talking to them, those things? In your money, in your finances, how disciplined are you? In your recreation, in your health, in your diet, your exercise, in your faith life, in your personal development, how disciplined are you in these areas? I would challenge you. I would challenge you all today to get more discipline in these areas, to make the decision today that you are going to be more disciplined than not. You are going to put your feelings to the side, and we're going to say, there's a life that I'm trying to get to. There's a emotional home I'm trying to get to. There's things I want to experience in life. And the way that I get there is by controlling my actions and my attitudes and getting more discipline. That's it. Challenge you today to go do that. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. The people around you are counting on you to win. You don't know that yet. Maybe you do know that. But I'll tell you, the people around you are counting on you to win. They're counting on you to get through hard times. They're counting on you to have the capacity to handle a hard life. They're counting on you to take this information in and apply it, because one day they're going to need you. They're going to need you. They're going to need your mental toughness. They're going to need your support. They're going to need you to be like, hey, this is nothing. I've gotten through worse. We can get through this together. They're going to need you. So it's your challenge. It's your job to now grow in this area so you can go off and design that ideal life. Love you guys. Enjoy your Monday. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Or maybe it might be my wife. You might have a special guest. I don't know. But either way, we'll be back on Wednesday. Take care, y'all. Have a good one.